Yes, good afternoon, everyone. And my name is Dzudzor Makafui, and I'll speaking on behalf of the NOURICITY team because
Okay.
of the 10-minute slot given. Prof. Asante has given me the go-ahead to do the presentation. So,
So could just before you start, would you be able to put your presentation in full screen for us?
okay, yeah,
Thank you.
okay, yes. So the NOURICITY project is basically, its full name is Partnership for Healthy Diets and Nutrition in Urban African Food Systems, Evidence and Strategies. So NOURICITY basically means we are looking at nutrition in urban cities. So nutrition and then urban cities. So what's the NOURICITY about? The project started in 2018 and is running for 3 years. It has 5 partners operating in 3 countries. That is Ghana, South Africa, and Uganda. And we have partners from ISE. We have partners from the Center of Excellence in Food Security from the University of Western Cape. We have University of Bonn. We have the Wageningen University, and we have partners from BOP Innovation Center. So as other speakers have equally said, what is our motivation? Africa is urbanizing and there's dietary transition. There is under and over consumption of calories, and at the same time, there is under consumption of micronutrients. You equally have poverty, and then there is growing purchasing power of urban dwellers. So this is increasing the complex nutrition equation. There are more variables that are coming into the equation. So the linkages between health and nutrition, whose problem is it? Is it at the individual level or it is at the national level? Who's responsible? Who needs to take action? And then that's our motivation. And then there are increasing concerns over food safety and then quality. At times, food safety and quality can become very contentious issues. It can become political in nature, but then that's why we are motivated to look into this subject. So our aim is to understand the drivers of urban nutrition in Africa so that it serves as a basis for effective development of evidence-based policies and interventions. So as I indicated, the NOURICITY project is operating in 3 countries, Ghana, Uganda, South Africa. But what are our activities in Ghana? We are running a 3-model approach in Ghana where we are looking at the systemic drivers of urban food choices. And we specifically are trying to map out the urban food system in Accra or in selected cities in Ghana. We want to look at the value chain, map the flow of food in the value chain. And then we are having some microbial analysis done at the lab to test different microbes that are existing in the food we purchase from the market. Our second model is at the household level or the individual drivers of urban food. We want to examine the issues surrounding issues of time allocation, how all those influence food choices of household members, and then the dietary issues at the household level. And we also have the third model that is to develop strategies and partnership for urban nutrition. So we are engaging different stakeholders at different levels. And I think different speakers have also mentioned this approach in order to have an inbuilt approach in developing policies that are effective at the end of the day. So in Ghana, we are operating in the south, middle, and northern parts. We are looking at the biggest cities in the south, middle, and northern parts, and equally, these cities are Accra, Kumasi, and then Tamale. And these cities equally have some of the biggest markets, and the geographical differences equally bring interesting things that need to be studied. So those are study sites in Ghana. So for the purposes of this presentation, I have some few preliminary descriptives from the market and then the household survey. So this is mapping of randomly selected food actors in Korle Dudor. So Korle Dudor is one of our study sites in Accra. It is close to the Agbogloshi market, which is one of our markets of interest. And what we do here is to link the market structure or the type of products that are sold by different retailers in the market to the structure in which those products are sold. So are they sold in the stores, in the kiosks? Are they hawkers on the street? Are they movable hawkers or immobile hawkers, as we call them? Are the products being sold on the floor, or they are sold on materials or on tabletops? Those are all categorizations that we considered and then linked it to the type of product that is being sold. Our idea and our intention is to be able to link the behavior of the market or the type of food environment that operates in different communities to the purchasing patterns or consumption patterns of households that are in those communities. So we want to link both the market information we are going to get with the household information we are going to get. And we have developed similar maps for our study sites in Kumasi and then equally in Tamale. So some few things on the household level data we want to present. And this is household food safety knowledge. We asked our respondents at the household level that asking them based on their knowledge of food safety. And these questions, we asked them 11 questions based on knowledge, attitude, and self-reported behavior. And the questions we asked them are based on the WHO's 5 keys to safer foods. So that is the yardstick we used in assessing respondents' knowledge of food safety. And as you can see in the graph, it indicates that majority of our respondents have some basic knowledge about what constitutes food safety. Our questions covered how to keep your cooking area clean, how to separate raw and cooked food, how to cook at the right temperature, and then how to use safe water and raw materials. And from the 11 questions that we asked on food safety knowledge, we found out that about the average score that we had among our respondents was about 7 out of those 11 questions, an indication that our respondents have a fair idea of their knowledge of food safety. So based on also the WHO's 5 keys to healthy diets, we also asked another set of 20 questions on household knowledge of healthy diets. What constitutes a healthy diet? And I think from the graph, you can see that quite a majority, almost over 80% of our respondents scored very high marks, ranging from 15 to 20. And majority of them got it right that they understood what constitutes a healthy diet. The questions we asked covered on the moderate amounts of fats and oil in their diet, eating less salt and sugar, breastfeeding babies, eating a variety of foods. So it's not like our respondents are not knowledgeable, but then how does this knowledge translate into their behaviors? That is something interesting. That is something we would like to delve more into. So we also present a variable on the household dietary diversity scores. And I think because of this discussion, majority of us are conversant with what constitutes a household dietary diversity score. Is based on 12 food groups that we have. And we can see from the graph that also fairly distributed, majority of our respondents have a dietary diversity score above. The mode is 7, majority of them consumed about 7 different dietary diversities over a 24-hour record period. And what we did in this work is we have 2 rounds of data collection. There was the first wave, which was collected in December of 2019, and immediately or within the COVID period, that is this year, June and July, we collected the second round of data. So if you can see on the right, the second wave of data collection, you see that it looks similar, but there's a slight difference. And what's that difference? You can see from the results that household dietary diversity score seems to be higher in wave 2 as compared to wave 1. And when we check just the basic statistical difference between the overall score of 7 and 7.5. It was statistically significant. So this is the 609 households are the same household we spoke to in wave 1 and wave 2. And it's interesting to analyze what the shocks were, what elements or what role did seasonality play in giving us these outcomes. Has it got anything to do with the COVID shocks? Has it got anything to do with how much time people had to spend at home and therefore had more time to cook at home? Those are all issues we are exploring. So basically, in conclusion,
Makafui, yes, the 1 more minute. Okay.
yes. So in conclusion, majority of our households are knowledgeable in basic food safety issues and the key basic indicators and elements of a healthy diet. The distribution of knowledge across the study sites is nearly even. About 75% of households have dietary diversities above 5, an indication of improved household food access and improved diet. So one critical question we will still answer is what are the mechanisms through which seasonality and shocks such as COVID-19 affect purchasing or consumption behavior, and how this translates into dietary diversity at the household level. Thank you very much for your attention.